Okay, we're back and I'm going to continue working, and I need to remove these bearings because these bearings are not great. I have a couple blind bearing pullers, so I'm going to actually kind of work with these. So we can see how this goes. And it should be able to pull it up. I may apply a little bit of heat, but it is up under there. Well, it's just been neglected for so long. That's the real problem. So, Audrey, we're leaving in like 2 minutes. Okay.
I called Emily
Yeah.
at 6. I think she is going to meet us there.
Okay, good. Okay. We're gonna keep going. Okay, sorry about that. This other bearing is coming out. And so I have all the bearings right here, and once I get it out, I can basically clean all the cases. There we go. It's got a lot of debris in it. So, getting everything out of the cases. Next up is cleaning them. That's really bad right there. But it is we will go from there. So I need to take out that last seal. And it would be better than new. It will be better than new. So stay tuned. I'm going to soak this down tonight too. So stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. I am going to start working on reassembling the transmission. I'm going to go incredibly slow. I actually have my sheet here to help me out, and I am hopefully get it done right the first time. And I'm going to make sure that I use heat and cold. All the bearings are in the freezer right now, so I'm going to actually use heat, like I said. So I'm going to start by inserting the seal here. There's a seal, a bearing, and a bearing. These are 2 roller bearings. These are kind of hard to find. So I got some from MG Cycle. So I'm going to just start by heating this up a little bit. And I'm going to put the seal in first, and I am going to use some assembly lube on it. And just going to grease everything up. This has generally the same consistency as the gear oil that goes in the I'm going to tap it in lightly. So let me get I'm going to just use a soft. Okay. I'm going to try a little bit deeper. I can't get a little bit more closer. Okay, looks good. I am So I've got the first seal in right here. I've got some bearings I need to put in. But let me. So there is another. There's another seal that needs to go in. Okay, so I'm going to confirm the size of that seal, and that seal is 30, and 30 is 90, 40, 35, 47. Okay, I'm back, and okay, I got the bearings in here. There's like a little spacer here. It just came with the bearing. I just kept it in there. I used a mixture of heat and tapping to get it in there, so the bearings are in this side. And the next spot is installing the bearings in here. So I am hoping that this one goes easier. They have been in the freezer for a long time, and there's no way that's it. Let's go right in here. I'm going to heat them up a little bit. There is the second one. So okay. That's good. And the next is this bearing, and that is the input shaft bearing 21. Okay, so that has a width of 21. That's it. And 47 by 20. We're going to put the bearing in, and then there's a seal to put in right here. Oh my God, that just slid right in. That slid right in, actually. So we put a seal in here. It's supposed to be a 28 by 38 by 7. In. Okay, so that seal is in. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, here's where I'm at. I have the lay shaft on. I have that shifter. I have this. Everything has been cleaned and greased. Here's the spacer. The next, well, the shim washer. The spacer goes on next. I think it does. Oops, that O-ring just came out, which is great because I need to replace that O-ring. Okay, gosh, that other O-ring looks really good anyway. I'm going to save it. I have a bearing that goes on here too. All right, let me find that bearing. Okay, this bearing was actually in the case, so that's why I did not see it. So that goes on here. The O-ring goes on here, and then we put on the snap ring. So let me make sure that that is good to go. And let me make sure there's no spacer. Good. Snap ring goes on next. Let me make sure that looks good. Okay, it clicked in. So the snap ring is in place. Oh my gosh, getting to this point is super hard. Oh. Okay, I dropped in this shaft. There's a shim on top of it already. And this is how we're rolling. So it is, the next is tightening down. And these had locking tabs on them. I'm not going to use actually the locking tabs. I've got some, well, I got them. So I'm going to install these with the locking tabs. And so there is actually an O-ring right here. Okay, with a little heat and cold, it popped in easily, actually. And the O-ring goes on the inside here. Okay, that is it for now. I will pick up a little bit later. Okay, we're back, and I am... It looks like we have most of the components on. Once I actually get my glove on, I got the shifting fork I need to install, but I've got a lot of assembly lube on it, so it looks really good. And so the shifting fork is really kind of the next thing to install. So there is an O-ring here that I need to change right here. I'm working on okay. So I have a couple pieces. Okay, I got it on, and this is the shifter fork, and I kind of just got it on by luck. So it does go on, but it goes on by luck. And so I've replaced the O-ring. So we have an O-ring on the shifter shaft. And let me tap it in. Okay. It's good. Next we have the bolt. It has a lock washer in it. Okay, looks good. Right. So next we are going to, there's a needle bearing that goes on here. And okay, next I'm going to put the basically small needle bearings on. I've kind of oiled it up, and I'm going to actually take this one off because it came with some, and I'm going to use the ones that it came with, and I am going to okay, so there's, I'm just going to oil this up. So we have one shim, the needle bearings, another shim, and then one more shim. There were two shims. So I've got the other shim right here. So that looks good. So the next step is to actually put the cover on. I've got to put the gasket on. And I hope this gasket kit came with it. I'm just going to oil this up a little bit so it sticks. Okay. Okay, I like that. That's great right there. Seal looks great going around. I'm not going to use the power one. Everything is really lined up nice. I mean, it is. Everything is coming through the seals. Out. Okay, I got the clutch basket on. I am now going to work on putting on the clutch pressure plate. And I have to put the springs in. I need to clean this first. This will go on top of here. I put the bearing in the the push rod in here, and I then obviously I put the springs and the washers. So, and then I can press it down, and then I can load the plates up. I've got the plates over here. I've already cleaned them, and once we do that, we can insert the plates, and we can install the snap ring. So stand by 1 minute, let me just clean this plate, and then we will get going. what I need to do is I need to actually kind of get this thing set up more upright like this. And let me lift up the camera. And so my hands are clean. We're putting springs on top first. Then I'm going to seat the washers on top. And then I'm going to put the plate on top. And then I'm going to put the bearing in the bearing in the push rod. So I need to sit these on top. I cleaned my hands. They're not greasy at all. Okay, so I was tapping the springs or the washers, and I can see all the washers are up top here. The next is putting this through, and then I have the bearing here. I'm cinching it down. I need to cinch this down all the way so that I can get the clutch plates in. And you do it. I've cinched it down, and it is so the next is to install the clutch plates. And let me make sure I have them in the right order. So just stand by. Okay, I think I have them in the right order, so let's start stacking them. I'm putting them in the same order that I took them out. And I need to cinch it down even further, actually. I am just a little bit, actually. So let me cinch it down. I'm going to say not you really. Let me keep going. There we go. That will do it. So we cinched that down. Now we need to put the snap ring in there. I want it to end kind of on the okay, I got it on. I am going to loosen. I got the snap ring on, so I'm going to loosen it up now. And I'm going to put actually the strap on. Or the, not the strap, the, I basically have it all set up now. And this was really kind of easy to put on. It's really hard for me to test this because I just don't have the leverage to pull on it. And I guess I could put a clamp there, but I guess I don't want to really risk it breaking it. I'm not going to, so, because I guess if I put a clamp here, but again, I don't want to put that much pressure on it. So it is, here is the gearbox case for the convert. So I am hoping that we'll get the other part done tomorrow. So thank you for watching. Okay, now I'm going to work on the flange shaft, and that's what it is called. So I'm going to basically start from this flange shaft outward, and this goes on like here. There's a seal here that needs to get changed, and so I got to pick it out. Not the old seal. I'm going to lube up the new seal. So we have a new seal on. That goes on like here. This is the one where we actually tighten the bolts down on the case. So that is the first one. There is an O-ring here that needs to get changed as well right here. And O-ring goes on, and there is a snap ring that goes on above this now, and I actually bought a snap ring for it. It's a new snap ring. Okay, snap ring snapped. The snap ring is in place. It turns. See how it moves in the groove? So it's good to go. Next we put the O-ring back on. Okay. And There's a big O-ring here. And so I'm going to take this O-ring off right here. There are holes here that need to align with the case. So we will align. Here's a hole that's plugged here as well. This is plugged. That's open. It should be open. That's actually a great reference. So this is a top hole, and then you have these two holes on the left-hand side. Lining it up with the case, we have the one hole here, and then the two holes right here. Right there. Right there. There and there. And here's the top hole. So that would be easy to set up. So there is an O-ring that goes in here. That really doesn't. Let me measure it, because that doesn't seem right. Yeah. Let me try it one more time. To get it seated. Okay, welcome back. Sorry my camera died, but I got this installed. This is the, what do you call this? They call this the flanged shaft. So I got this installed. This now bolts up to the transmission. Well, I guess for the gears, so let me get the gears going. And before I do that, I'm going to be blowing out the holes. And in particular, I'm going to blow out these holes. I want to make sure they're nice and clean. So Just want to make sure they're nice and clean. It's been cleaned, but it doesn't hurt to clean it again. This does not get, it's not oiled. And 2, 4, 6. And this looks like a short one. So that's a short one for up top there. So stand by. Let me get some. Paper towel. Stand by. Okay, I'm just going to clean this off a little bit with some brake cleaner. Okay, so back bolt good. Turn this upside down like that. Okay, that looks good. Let me just get the rubber mallet. Okay, and let us okay, let's keep going. So it is, I got to check the torque spec, but I think these are like, I don't know, between like 29 and 32, I would think. But before I torque them down fully, I will verify. And it is oops. Okay, I cannot find a torque spec, so it is, I am going to gently, these are aluminum. I mean, obviously they're steel screws, but they are aluminum, and I'm going to be relatively gentle putting them in because I don't want to strip it out because it's aluminum and aluminum. So let me just go through and start tightening them up. And I'm going to do it so they are tight. And so the way this transmission works is I gotta clean this off too. The torque converter fits on it. So crazy. So now it is time. Yeah, it fits right in there. It's so cool, actually. There is a the star shaft. It fits all the way in there, and you feel it when it pops in. Kind of cool, really. So I love that. Actually, it's kind of cool. So that is. I got to get the flywheel put on. So stand by. Okay, now I'm torquing down the bolts. To prevent this from spinning, I have this device that hopefully is going to work. It's just screwed in. And I'm going to start by torquing everything down to 20 pounds. There's 20 there. 20 there. 20 there. 20 there. 20 there. 20 there. And last one. 20 there. So I think the torque specs here are like 32 pounds. I'm going to check. So I'm going to pop it up to 25 pounds right now. There. Okay. And now we're going to go to, so let's see. Okay. So these have to be 30 pounds. So next up is 30 pounds because we just did 25. Okay. Just going to go around the horn. Okay, so we are good to go. And it is I have some blue thread lock on it, on the bolts, so it's medium strength, and I'm going to kind of show you. I hope you can see it, but the show you the marks on the flywheel, because I think it's set up properly. It is so let me just back it up here a little bit. So I am going to look for compression here. So I want you to look for a D there. So let me start. Okay, I'm getting compression. And I just happen to know the D is right here. It's hard to see, but there is a little tiny, there's a D there. There's going to be a hole right here. That needs to line up with the hole. And it is, if I check to see where, so we're at the top dead center. We have the D right here. That's going to be pretty close to being in the hole. So let me go around the horn again. Okay, we're on the compression stroke now. So there's the S. Yeah, we just passed the D. Okay, we're on the compression stroke. And so there is like top dead center right there. And I mean, even the valves are loose. So we are basically right at top dead center. So I think it's lined up correctly. It's a little bit different than the other ones. So we are good to go. So the next step is to really install the, really kind of put the transmission on. And we have to install the, torque converter on this. And once we install the torque converter, then we basically just slide the transmission onto it. So let's go from there. So stand by, let me get the torque converter. Okay, I have done minimal work on this torque converter because I am absolutely positively afraid of messing with it. And it is, there are bearings in it, roller bearings in there. I don't know how to replace those. When I go to the Haynes manual, it says there are no repairable parts in there. And it's kind of ingenious the way this thing works. And inside, it is going to fit into the shaft. There's a star in there where that's how it fits in there. And it's so cool. Okay, we're back, and I have not really done much with the torque converter. Like I said, because it really kind of scares the hell out of me, because I don't want to mess it up. They're not easy to find. They're expensive, and Haynes manual says that there's nothing to repair. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you need to replace it. And so that is where I'm at with this. And I don't want to mess it up, actually. So it's actually kind of incredibly ingenious the way it works. So I'm hoping it works as it works. So I'm going to install it. Let me just cinch these down, then we'll torque them. This really just is the starter ring, and I mean, it's a little bit rusty, but it is what it is. I don't have another one. And let me rephrase that. I do have another one, but that's for another transmission, and I will probably replace this one as needed. But as long as it starts it, I'm good at this point. Okay, so we're there, and let's start off at 20 pounds. And here's 20 pounds. All right, let's go to 25 pounds. Let's go to 30 now. Okay, so we are good to go. So the next step is to really just mount the transmission, and I okay, let me get the transmission. Get my little rubber mallet. There we go. It just dropped right in. Okay. So I'm going to put lock washers on it. And these are the standard M8s. I don't want to put the other ones on because they really can dig into it. And I don't want any digging to happen. I kind of just want them to go on, end of story. No issues, and they don't come off. But if I want them to come off, they come off easy. Everything is stainless, so hopefully it will not be that corrosive. Or not get that corroded, let me say that. It's so nice when it just like pops right on. It slides right on. It's so it makes life easy. And this is like the first time I'm really feeling good about this. Well, I mean the frame looks great too, but it is once you start cleaning everything up, everything just it's so much brighter actually. So transmission is installed, and yes, I'm using a roll of tape to prop it up a little bit. Just helps it slide in, and it is. I wonder if the transmission will turn. I told somebody it would because I didn't think it would, but I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah, because the torque converter's got to be running, and I didn't think it would. And again, the Haynes manual says you don't have to fill up that torque converter with ATF. So obviously it won't run without it. So I am going to work next on cleaning up this bike. I'm sorry, cleaning up the engine. I'm going to clean up all the components. I'm going to get the heads ready. I'll probably take them off again and look at everything, clean everything. Clean the air breather. And I have new lines for all of that. And install it in the frame and kind of go from there. I'm going to have it in the frame in a few hours actually. So, and once we have it in the frame, I am going to start testing the engine. I'm going to test the engine, test the transmission. So we will have it installed in the frame and then test it. Thank you.